Hey guys, what's up? And today is a pretty special day because this is the 1 year anniversary of me making content on this channel. I've had the channel for a while before that, but this is the point where I've successfully uploaded for a year, and I hope to keep going like this. So I figured I wanted to do something special for this video. So something I like about the Sonic series a lot is the intros into the game. Like the cutscene that will play before you start. It is kind of sad because a lot of the newer games don't actually have intros for some reason. I mean, like, I guess it could be like a choice for like narrative or like the feel of it, I guess, in like Sonic Forces and Frontiers. But I kind of prefer an intro, and I think those games could add way cooler intros. So I've decided today to rank not all of them, but a lot of them. Like, I'm probably missing a couple, and I had a little bit of trouble recording a couple, so I might have to make a follow-up to this one day for the ones I missed. But this is most of the Sonic intros ranked, so let's get into it. Okay, as you can see here, this is a selection of Sonic games I've picked out, and we'll be starting with, well, the only not Sonic game here, Shadow the Hedgehog. I will also point out I'll be pretty biased towards nostalgia and stuff because I loved these things as a kid, and some of them just hit harder than others. And for some reason this one hits really hard. Like, I don't even know, like, the tone of this game is just kind of hilarious in a way, but awesome at the same time. It's mainly just depicting the, was it Westopolis? Just getting absolutely destroyed and Shadow doing cool things. And I'm not sure if I'll go super in depth on every single one, but overall this one's pretty cool and portrays the game very well. And maybe I'll point out some scenes, but on this one the thing I really wanted to talk about mainly was the scene at the end that lives rent-free in my head. Because when I was a kid, I was so shocked by seeing Sonic collapsing in front of Shadow and then him charging the camera. It probably kept me up at night for all I know. Because I'm like, Sonic's the main character, they can't be doing that to him. Shadow would never. Then it turns out in some of the evil stuff you can totally do that. But I don't know, I always love this one. It has a soft spot for that moment because I just think about it from time to time. And I guess Shadow just does a lot of cool stuff in it, and it's animated really well. So I think Shadow the Hedgehog is a solid A tier to start with. I just personally always think about this one, and I still find it funny how bent out of shape I was about the one scene in it. So the next ones are going to be all three of these racing games. I'm going to talk about all three of them in one go. For the first one, Sega All-Stars Racing, I love this intro. It has so much charm to me. It's a ton of the Sega characters just doing kind of funny things, if you ask me, in Racing Through Woods. Then there's a point in it where Eggman attacks Tails and Sonic saves him. Then a point when Sonic starts crashing, but then he pulls out the boost and then wins in the end. And I find it funny because Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transform has like the same scene at the end where he starts crashing then boost, but this time he like takes out Eggman instead of getting to the front of the pack. I guess it's rhyming, as you would call it, but I love both these intros. They have a lot of charm. I mean, the transformed one shows off the mechanic and stuff. And the original one, I feel like, is just really fun. But then there's also the Sonic Team Racing one, which is funny because I played Sonic Team Racing on the Switch, and that just did not have the intro in it, and I'm pretty sure they never updated the game to have it. So I never really got to see this until I got it on the computer. And the Sonic Team Racing one is like, okay, but it's like kind of weird. Like, Team Rose just gets absolutely blown away. Then Eggman blows up. Then Silver, Vector, and Blaze just kind of get left behind. And then it's Sonic kind of like cheesing the win from, well, I guess they tie at the end, you know. But it's animated well and I like it, but it doesn't feel as like, how do I put it? Like, the other ones have so much more character to me. But I would put it as the worst out of the three. But I still like it. So if I would rank them, I would probably go as Sonic and All-Stars Racing is the best one. then I'd put Transformed right under slightly, and I'd put Team Racing as the worst out of the three. Even though I like them all, I would have to say Team Racing is my least favorite and the original is my favorite. So next we'll be doing the two storybook games. I don't know why as a kid I rewatched Sonic and the Secret Rings intro so many times in the extra menu. I don't know what it is about it. I just love the scenes with Sonic, even though most of the intro is just like stuff happening without Sonic. But it's like him jumping from the moon, and then mainly the ending part when he covers the flame to be cool, and then boosts forward looking very pissed, I think is really cool. But it's mostly like just, I guess, ambiance story stuff other than that. But I still like it a lot. But I am confused why Sonic and the Secret Rings has a full-on animated, like, original intro. And Sonic and the Black Knight has, mind you, one of the coolest cutscenes in the game is at the beginning of it. And it has some cool editing stuff and all that, but it is just a lot of gameplay. I mean, I haven't said this about many of them because in Sonic the music is always good. But yeah, you know, the music in the Black Knight one is awesome. But I was kind of disappointed it didn't get like a full-on like animated treatment like Sonic and the Secret Rings got for an intro. But I guess it does have an intro cutscene, but I wasn't counting those. I still like it, but I think Secret Rings wins this time, even though I like Black Knight more. So yeah, I have to give Secret Rings has like a lot of story stuff specific to the game. But overall, I'd give it, like, for the two scenes, I just loved them so much as a kid, and I'm an obviously too biased and positive Sonic fan, I guess, for everything. Any little thing will just, ooh, wow, for me. But I'd put it there, and I'd put Black Knight, like, here. I know it's kind of weird to put Black Knight above this one, even though this one had a full animated thing. But I love this game so much. I'll sing its praise as much as I can. But I can only bring it up to probably B because it doesn't really have any original animation. So we'll be doing Sonic Free and Sonic 3D Blast. And you know what? I'll do Sonic Spinball and Sonic CD here too. It's not as fair to compare some of these classic games, except for one. But this is an iconic little intro. And I love it. And it is kind of funny seeing Knuckles just punch the snot out of Super Sonic. But I think it's a good one. And 3D Blast is just rotating into an island when Sonic's running with some flickies. I mean, this is definitely one way it's not as fair, but it has a real charm to it. And Sonic Spinball has, I believe, Tails and Sonic flying towards an Eggman base, and they just get absolutely wrecked, and Tails kind of ditches Sonic, which is funny, but this one's just a kind of funny little animation. Sonic CD just blows the doors off the three of them with one of the most iconic and coolest looking animations I've ever seen of Sonic. I mean, I know it had the CD power and it wasn't really a competition, but this is still probably one of the coolest intros in the whole series. It's animated beautifully, and Sonic just looks so expressive. I watched this one a lot in the Mega Collection, I'm pretty sure. You could just rewatch it. I love this one a lot. I mean, look at Sonic in this. Just look how cool he looks right now. Okay, so I know it's not fair to compare the ones that don't have like fully animated intros to others, but I wanted to represent as many Sonic games as I could think of that had intros. So even if I put Spinball in 3D Blast in the D here, I thought they were good for what they were, but they just, I guess, can't compete with full-on animated things. But I do gotta give Sonic Free for how iconic it is. C. And then, of course, I think Sonic CD is my first S tier. This one's just so iconic, and honestly, still awesome to this day. So now we're gonna do all free advanced games. I find it really funny because for like a Game Boy Advance game, Sonic Advance 1 has a really cool intro that shows off Eggman and everything, then has this cool like splash art section for all the playable characters, one after the next. So overall, I think this one's actually really great for what it is. But then weirdly, Sonic Advance 2 just has you flying over an ocean and looking over the island, then up to the logo. Which is so weird compared to the first game, especially since they added in like cream in this game and stuff. I don't know why they chose not to do an intro. Then it's even weirder when Sonic Advance 3 has like a fully animated intro that does the character splash art thing like the first game does all over again. But then also it adds in a scene that seems a lot like Sonic X to me when Eggman hits a button, then a white void and everything. But then it has like close-up shots on Sonic and Tails. It's like so cinematic. And it makes me really wonder why the second game just has nothing. But, I mean, it's kind of weird, but I like the third one a lot. So, I'm going to put Advance 2 down here because it is just like looking over the area which the game takes place. I think Advance 1 with the character splash arts and stuff, I think that's right around here. And I think Advance 3 is close to being here. I don't think it's as cool as these two. But, I mean, that's not fair. Fully 3D animated before it is. I think it's one of the cooler 2D ones. Oh boy, now we're going to be doing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. So first off, both these intros are absolute gas. They get me so excited, and these were my two favorite games growing up and still are today, so I'm 100% biased here when I say this. But like, I'll start with Sonic Adventure 1. This intro is so awesome. I just love the editing is so wild to me. It's like just cameras spinning, running through places. And then there's like character cuts, but then it's like cut. Angel Island is falling, but there's water, sprinkles. The city is getting destroyed. And then you got your characters all showing up for a couple seconds. Sonic at the end with like the camera shot. And I remember as a kid, I was terrified of Perfect Chaos. Especially at the end of the intro when it zooms in on his eye. But I just love this intro so much. I cannot be objective here. And just like the last, I think this intro is just freaking awesome. I love the cutting to the characters, Sonic and Shadow running through the level back and forth as it cuts through them. And then the ending when they cross over top the moon. Like, it's just like every little bit of this intro, I love it so much. I can't even be like, this is probably my favorite intro ever, even though I know it's not the best. I'm just so biased, and this got me so excited when I was a kid whenever I turned this game on. And I try never to skip it if I can. And also, Live and Learn is awesome, even though I haven't been mentioning the music on a lot, because all of them are. It's just Live and Learn hits so different sometimes. I am putting them both in S tier, and nobody can stop me. I apologize. You can complain if you want, but I cannot be objective. These are my two favorite games of all time. I think both the intros are absolute gas. So now we're going to be doing Sonic Battle and Sonic Pinball Party. Oh, and I'll add in Sonic Rivals actually in this too. Sonic Battle's intro is so hype. I loved this thing as a kid. It's so quick, but the bump, and then showing off some characters, I love it. Sonic Pinball Party is weird because I never got it as a kid. But when I was looking at intros, I thought this one was just funny because it's just a present drops, then it blows up and a ton of Sega characters pop out. Which is really funny if you ask me. Then the funniest part is the Rivals series doesn't even have an intro, but I just thought this animation with the logo of the studio here was so kind of wholesome that I decided to add it in here. I'm biased here, but I'm putting Sonic Battle right here. This is one of my favorite games on the Game Boy. This one, for not knowing what it was kind of hilarious. I think, you know what, just for never seeing before and just, even though it's really short, I'll put it right here. Thought it was pretty cool, and I'll put this down here. I just thought it was kind of wholesome in a way that had the little intro, but yeah, neither of the Rivals games have intros. I could have sworn I thought they did, but I guess I was mistaken. Okay, so we're going to be doing both variants of colors here. So first off, I think Sonic Colors has a spectacular intro. It looks great, it portrays the game perfectly. I always loved this one as a kid. It has some great spots in it I like a lot. Like the final section when he jumps towards Eggman or when he lands on the side of the building. Overall, I think this one is a super solid intro. For the stars, it's pretty iconic, you know, not gonna lie. Also, not gonna lie, I never got to play Sonic Colors DS growing up. But when I was looking at game intros, this one caught me off guard just on... I don't know why, I just thought this was so funny. It's like Sonic running in space like he does in the title screen of the main game. With the music and everything. It just like, you know, spins around him and stuff. But it's like the end when he jumps forward and just on the title screen just turns into an off-centered JPEG on the screen. And I've never got to play Sonic Colors DS yet. I'll have to sometime. But I just thought it was so funny after the thumbs up, he just turns into like the promotional image of Sonic. It caught me off guard and I thought it was kind of iconic. So I think Sonic Colors right here, this is a solid A tier. I think it does it just about perfectly for what it is. And Colors, yes, caught me so off guard, but I kind of loved it. That I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so we're going to be doing Sonic Heroes next. Yet again, I love this intro. It's so cheesy. But, I mean, it's just using, like, the rest of the characters besides Team Hero Sonic just get, like, cutscenes from the game. But, the special intro for them in the game that's unique has these really funny scenes when it, like, zooms in on Tails and then it has his face off to the side. It's, like, such an old music video thing. I just kind of love it, how cheesy it is. And overall, I think it kind of does the game justice overall. Shows off everybody and all that. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty iconic also. I think Sonic Heroes gets an A tier. I love the cheesiness of it and it's pretty iconic. And now we'll be doing Lost Worlds. I mean, Lost World has to be one of the most basic because it's like the animals are playing and then the Zeddy just come in, threaten them, Sonic jumps in like the hero he is. I mean, it has a splash cut, they attack and then Sonic does parkour, then does a flip and cracks a smile and that's kind of the end of it. It feels oddly like short, or like, it feels a little weird to me, but I mean it looks nice. I'll give Lost Worlds like a B. It just seems a little weird. I like the way it looks, but it's okay. Okay, so we're going to be doing Mania, Origins, and Superstars all at once. All three of these intros are absolutely spectacular. Might be like the best looking intros in the series. I love Mania's is so colorful and vibrant, and they like going through a couple of the levels, and it just has like this really fun aesthetic. And the characters just look so expressive and awesome. Mania's is a great intro. Sonic Origins has to be one of my favorites because it's also beautifully animated like Mania's is, but it like recaps the first 4 games in such a fun and fast way. I know they are the cutscenes, I'm pretty sure, that are used in the game, but it looks so nice. It's just so much personality in this whole thing. This one is just iconic. And while Superstars is probably my least favorite out of the 3, it still looks great and it fits so well with the other classic Sonic games intros now. I think all 3 of them have amazing ones, and I think Superstars does a good job of showing off what the game is and everything, and it looks beautiful. All 3 of these are just awesome, like top-notch intros if you ask me. And I always like the 2D stuff Sega's been putting out with Sonic recently. Okay, so I think Mania and Origins are S tier for me, and I think Superstars is an A tier. They all look fantastic, but I just like the aesthetics of these two a little more than Superstars. But they're all great. Okay, now we're going to be doing both the Rider games. Sonic Riders has to have one of the aesthetically coolest looking intros in this whole series. This game had such an art style. This intro portrays like the extreme racing game it is so well. I love this one so much. As a kid, I rewatched this a ton. I also love that it just shows off so many little character things in it, like Sonic saving Tails, Sonic not caring as much about winning but going back to save his friend and help him. And it's just like, this animation is just so beautiful, and the song that goes with it is really cool. I watched this intro so many times. I'm really nostalgic for this one. I definitely didn't get to play Sonic Zero Gravity as much because we only got to rent it a couple times when I was a kid, and I still haven't found a copy yet. But I always found it weird that the first game had this like really cool 2D animation. This one has more of like, it's like a story setup cutscene that shows off, you know, the ring, and then it just kind of has Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails chilling, driving through town, which is kind of funny. But I think this one's pretty good as like setting up the story and showing some stuff off. It's not like a regular like music one. The problem is there's one that just does this so much better, but I like this one a lot. It's pretty good. It sets up the game decently, shows off the zero gravity. It is also funny that Tails and Knuckles just kind of let Sonic fall, it looks like here. But still, it's pretty good. So I'm going to put Sonic Riders in S tier, and I think Zero Gravity's like a B. I think it sets up the story and stuff nice, but Sonic Riders is just so iconic. So I'm going to now be doing Sonic Chronicles. I don't know what to tell you, but this intro goes so unreasonably hard when I was a kid. It's straight flames. I will not take Sonic Chronicles intro slander. I love this game, and this intro is just so cheesy. It's mostly just JPEGs and a lot of like editing on gameplay, but I don't know why. As a kid, I loved it. And also, it's like the only song besides menu music I think I remember from this game, which is kind of odd. But I don't know what to tell you. I just love this intro in all its flaws. Actually, I take that back. This intro is peak, and no one can tell me otherwise. Okay, so absolute peak is going right here, and no one can tell me otherwise. It is perfect the way it is. Now we'll be doing both Rush games. Sonic Rush 1 just has this really simple, quick one with the splash cuts of alright, then them both striking a pose, and then just saying the title screen. Pretty simple, but I like it. And Sonic Rush Adventure just has Sonic and Blaze straight up chilling, driving a jet ski across the ocean, and then freaking Tails and Marine are just riding dolphins. I don't know why, I just love this intro a lot. And then it even has the splash cut like the first one, but I just find the beginning of it so funny. I like it a lot. It's pretty iconic. So I think I'm going to give the original Sonic Rush, I don't know, I like the aesthetic of it. And I'm giving it a lot more grace than these ones, I guess, but I liked it a lot. But I think Sonic Rush Adventure, I don't know, I just really love them just kind of chilling, riding jet ski around. So I'll put it right here in B. Now I'll be doing Sonic Shuffle. Sonic Shuffle's intro is wild. It just goes places that's like no other Sonic game. Because it's like, it got the Dreamcast aesthetic, then there's cards, and then they get warped to a different reality. And then they like helping out alien looking people. One of the aliens might be bad, might not be. One of them looks like Cosmos? I don't know what's going on there. Then there's like just a big old like alien lady that's like sad. But then it's like the crystal blows up, and to be honest, I never got to play a lot of Sonic Shuffle as a kid. I only got it way more recent. But this intro is just so different than everything else in the series. It's just kind of iconic. I think Sonic Shuffle just, I don't know why, I just liked it a lot. I gotta put it in A. It's so weird and different than everything else. It's just got like a completely different style compared to every other one. But I kind of love how weird it is. And now we'll be doing Sonic the Fighters. Man, I love the Sonic the Fighter intro. I know it's like for an arcade machine, so it's supposed to grab your attention, but it is like Eggman's wrecking the whole world, and Sonic and his friends are like, we gotta stop him. We gotta use the giant Tails-looking rocket that Tails has, which would have come in handy a lot of other times. But then it's funny because it needs 8 Chaos Emeralds to fuel it, so it needed to round up in this game. But then there can only be one, so you all have to beat each other up to take the emeralds, so only one of you can stop Eggman. Kind of iconic Sonic blood, I guess. Really funny. Pretty iconic. So Sonic the Fighters, I'm straight up putting it right in A. I love that intro. Then the last one we have here is Sonic Unleashed. In the Zero Gravity section, when I said there was one game that definitely had the best, like, story plot open one, it has to be Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Adventure 2 might be my favorite intro in the series, but I think this is the singular best, like, probably cutscene slash anything like that in Sonic history. It's like, just peak Sonic, this whole thing. The whole beginning of this is Sonic raiding the egg carrier, or a egg carrier, I guess. But it's animated so well. Sonic is so expressive, and he just like wrecks house. And then Eggman comes out with a mech, and it's beautifully animated. I love this intro so much. I think it is probably the best the series has to offer. It's like everything, almost everything that's good about Sonic in one cutscene. I mean, it's missing his friend, but it is, friends, sorry. But it is like just classic Sonic versus Eggman at its peak. And he goes Super Sonic, and the only part I can knock about it is after like Super Sonic wrecks the whole fleet. The part at the end can be a little weird, but it sets up the story well and stuff, and everything else about this intro is like nearly perfect in my opinion. I love this one a whole lot, and it's almost just perfect in my opinion. So obviously you can tell that Sonic Unleashed is going in S tier. And yeah, that's about it. Well, that's what I have for my favorite, like, I guess order of Sonic the Hedgehog intros. I mean, they're not in order on the tier list. Maybe I could do that someday in a little update video. But in general, this is what I think about most of these. And man, I just love Sonic the Hedgehog intros, and I really hope we get more of them. With like the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds coming out, I hope that gets one. And I would have loved Games for Frontiers and all them to have intros, but the ones we got are just so amazing, and I love them all a lot. I think that overall, I think Sonic just kind of hits with the intros. I'm completely biased, by the way, but all these are so iconic in their own ways. I like them all. And also, thank you guys for watching this whole year. It's been a year of content on this channel, and I reached my goal of trying to upload at least 3 things a month. And I'm gonna try and do better this year. But it was really fun this year. Thank you guys so much for watching it, everything. And I hope this year will be even better. I have a lot of plans to do more stuff, and hopefully put some more effort into certain videos. But this has been the Sonic intro tier list. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Here we go, it's the end of the show. Hear them, they're calling your name. 'Cause in the end, it's you.